Did you ever see Bar Rescue?
Hi, this is Ryan Marshall and Tom Ela with Ela Financial Group. So we're doing this video series so that we could share our experiences, what we've seen, what worked, what didn't work. Just because right now there's really nothing out there that we've seen that's like this. I've been working with Tom in over 20 years. I've seen Tom take over businesses. I've seen him buy out practices. I've seen him transition some of his business to me as part of a succession plan. We've been getting a lot of questions lately from different reps that have popped in and want to discuss, how we've done it. What are, some of your perspectives that you've seen over the past 20 years with this?
A lot of the underlying problems are all the same for reps as they get older, period. I mean, and I'll go into those in a second, but the cool thing about shows like Bar Rescue and Shark Tank is they come in from the outside and they look at exactly what you're doing. We're part of a study group with 5 or 6 different offices throughout the country, and we've seen succession plans with them not work out after we've talked about it for years, and we've seen reps who hold on too long. And that's what we want to talk about. How do you get to a point where you're planning how to get out at the end? The underlying problems as people get older, compliance and technology are the 2 biggies that they can't stand.
You're just getting used to not using an abacus anymore.
I couldn't do the technology my staff does now. All those issues lead to stress.
Did any of those guys that you took over the practice, did they have somebody? Did they have a team of 11 people?
No, usually one. But what happens is they don't have a great staff person and they have one.
That person's just usually as old, if not older than they are.
Sometimes, but sometimes it's a young person just getting started. You have to have a good staff, and if you don't, well, I think that's a mistake.
Now that we talked about staffing and some of the shortfalls with the staffing, let's talk, specifics about some of the practices, the nuances of the takeover and what you see.
Well, let's talk about the S's first. We have one where every established rep gets cancer, 3 years later they die. Upon that, the mess that came out is they had a junior guy working there. He thought he was taking over the practice. The original owner was going to sell it to his firm that he used to be with years ago. But then they came and they said, but you didn't sign the buy-sell agreement, so we really don't have a value. So what happened there was the wife, who we know personally, basically got clobbered. She had clients calling her crying that nobody's taking care of her. As they're not taking care of her, clients are escaping all over the place. What a lot of people don't understand is the last thing a client wants to do as they get older is, let's get a new rep. That doesn't happen. They want to just coast to the end with the firm and the guy that they've been dealing with.
And I just want to talk about the buy-sell, how important it is to have a buy-sell. I mean, just from us, we have a buy-sell in place. We paid a lot of money for the buy-sell to have the attorney, and then we found out later that the attorney actually wrote the document incorrectly.
There was a slight mistake in it, but you have to review those things. It's just like your will and all that. You have to review those things.
You have to review them manually and make sure that they're in the right order, and I think that's really important.
Example of the first one was a spouse that luckily she had other money. What she got out of the practice was a joke, and it was a lot of confusion for her and the clients. Another one, they sold out to a big national firm. And at the end of the day, the firm jacked up prices, doesn't even know the clients.
Basically selling to the highest bidder in effect. And then you're beholden to all these little strings and carrots. And is it going to be the best interest for the clients too? Where, hey, no, you have to move all these clients out, or maybe they don't reach minimums and things like that.
And the other one was an accounting firm we bought out years ago. Partners, they pass away, and there's a junior partner, and then he passes away. Clients scrambling, but the funniest thing was when you were driving down the street, he texts me and he says, there's monkeys on the roof of the building. And I'm like, I go, what do you mean there's monkeys? He goes, there are a bunch of people on the roof throwing files to shred it. So I sit back and it scares the heck out of me. That's what you don't want to happen. For years, he's been servicing my clients. He's been doing follow-up stuff with my clients so they know him. It has to be a seamless transition from technology, people, staffing, and everything else. It can be very easy and can work great.
Yeah, you got to start planning it early, I guess, is the bottom line. At least have a plan in place and continue to review it annually to make sure, are you on the right track? Do you need to make adjustments? Is the person that you're thinking about selling the right person?
Well, you know, that's another one. Years ago, there was a guy who was the guy to take it over. And when the trigger day came, he says, I really don't want to take that kind of debt on.
He just wanted to be an employee. And just continue to be an employee and a rep. And
the funny thing was, nobody ever called them on that, saying, he's not the guy. And that's what you need. That's what Bar Rescue does. You only sold 3 units and you want $20 million? I don't know.
We're going to have more of these videos and just talk about some of the nuances of different practices, get into a little bit more of the details.
Owning data, transitioning it all.
Basically having a plan. But we're here as a resource if anybody has any questions or anything like that.
We've seen one do it right.
Yeah, one has done it right. So we have seen it done right, and we're trying to go on that path. Right now, there's really nothing out there that we've seen that's like this. Tom, any other thoughts or feedback as far as upcoming videos and what you see?
Well, I think a lot of it's going to be how we do technology, how we're doing the buyout process. Those are big pieces. I mean, your business, how it's running, and how you're going to transition it is really what we want to get into.
Thank you. Take care, guys.